Hey, it's David. I'm in the middle of rebuilding my 1200 Bandit. I guess this would be phase 3 of rebuilds for that Bandit. First two were done by Delboy's Garage. I've not been using it very much for the past probably a year because of some issues that were coming up that needed to be fixed. With the lockdown, this seemed a good time to start whilst I was doing all the other projects that I was supposed to be doing. Let me show you where I am and what I've done so far. I've got the head over here, and I'm just doing some work. I've drilled and tapped the broken bolt out of there. I've drilled and tapped this because this wouldn't come out either because again rusted in place. I've got a bit more work I want to do in cleaning these up and they're a bit eroded away. I might try repairing that or not, we'll see. Now I'm not quite ready to bolt the engine back into the frame because at the moment I've got the head off. It's just loosely bolted back in place at the moment. The valve cover has been painted. I need to paint all this. I'm waiting for a new cylinder head stud on this. Now with this, what happened, and I can't show you because it's on the underneath side at the moment, is that the other problem, aside from the frame rusting, was that it reached a point where the exhaust had rusted badly. Let me show you that. So the exhaust headers here had rusted to the point where the clamps were no longer holding it properly into the engine. And this is what the clamps should look like. This is what the better one of the two middle ones looks like, and the one that was on here had basically rusted away to nothing. So it was starting to blow on the headers, so time was coming. I need to remove this. I got 7 of the 8 bolts that hold these in out, but one I couldn't get out. And when I say I've got them out, I mean by welding nuts on and backing them out and so forth. The final one needed to be drilled out, and unfortunately it was the one that hides behind the frame rail. so you can't actually get a drill onto it. I thought I'd get away with just taking the head off, and that was true, but by the time I got the head off and then realised that I still didn't have quite enough room to get in here, behind here properly, and down into this part of the frame to clean it off properly, I realised I need to take the whole engine out. And by the time I'd taken the whole engine out, well, then, yeah, this happened. So you've got the wheels out, the wheels have been repainted, the fork legs are out, the forks have been repainted. Really could do with rebuilding them, probably could do with new stanchions and so forth. The swinging arm is out and been repainted, and so forth. So we're reaching a point where it's close for the bike to be able to be put back together. But there's a few jobs that need to be done beforehand, one of which is just putting some more paint back on the engine. I've mostly stripped out what's left on here. I need to clean this area of the engine out. I've got the generator and the starter motor out just to make access easier, and also just to lighten the load, because this is quite a heavy engine. It's quite a struggle for me to lift it around on my own. When I put it back in, I'm going to put it back in without the head on and without bits like that on, so that I can get it in there more easily. If you've been following me on my Instagram account, you would have seen stories where I've been catching you guys up on what I'm doing with this. So if you want to see that, follow me there. I'll put a link below or somewhere. I'm going to carry on because I need to get some paint on this and on those, and maybe get side covers off the engine while I'm waiting for the paint to dry. So I'm going to dig on with that and let you go and do something more interesting. So I'll see you soon.